we lack preparation. In our nations, we don't prepare well for things. It is when that thing comes that we'll be using fire brigade approach to it. But I'd like to tell us that God is a God of preparation. Before God will do anything, he will prepare well for it. Even before God created man, God knew that man would fail. He knew that man would sin. He has made another alternative for the falling of man, even before he made him. So our God is a God that always prepared. I look at one issue in the 2 Kings. Can you follow me to 2 Kings? Please, let's go there together so that we can pick the point of our prayer. Because I think we need to pray very well today. I'm in 2 Kings chapter 13. All the servants of God, they know the story very well. When Elisha was about to die, and this king came to him. The story is in verse 14. I will read from verse 14 through verse 20. Elisha had become sick with the illness of which he would die. Then Joash, the king of Israel, came down to him and wept over his face, and the chariot of Israel and their horsemen. And Elisha said to him, take a bow and some arrows. So he took himself a bow and some arrows. Then he said to the king of Israel, put your hand on the bow. So he put his hand on it, and Elisha put his hands on the king's hands. And he said, open the east window. And he opened it. Then Elisha said, shoot. And he shot. And he said, the arrow of the Lord's deliverance and the arrow of the... For you must strike the Syrian at Aphek till you have destroyed them. Then he said, take the arrows. So he took them. And he said to the king of Israel, strike the ground. So he struck 3 times and stopped. And the man of God was angry with him. You will destroy it. But now you will strike Syria only 3 times. Then Elisha died. Let me pause there. Open door. Though the man of God said, open the window. But I still see it as an opportunity, as an open door for this man to reign in peace, to reign without stress. But the problem of this king was that he had no preparation. He did not prepare that peradventure this prophet who said I should do something. What will I do? There is no any preparation from him. That is why when the prophet said, bring out your arrow and bow, he collected it from one of those who followed him. And by the time he shot the arrow 3 times, he has already weak. He has already discouraged. I said, what am I shooting now? There is nothing in my front. I didn't focus anything. You said I should be shooting arrow. He shot, bam, bam. At the 3rd time, I think I need to see the enemy. If I have seen an enemy in my front, I will know how to shoot it very well. But this is all only ground. What will come out of this ground? I am not shooting even an object. Assuming that there is a palm tree ahead of me and say, shoot this palm tree, I said, yes, I have something I'm target. But nothing. You just said I should be shooting even the ground. So this man discouraged. And I like to tell us that opening door at times may not come as objects. You might not see anything. You remember that when some kings came to this Elisha and they were crying for rain, for water. They want to drink water. He said, you will not see rain, neither dew, but the valley will fill of water. So the opening door that God is giving to us, many times you may not see as if I have seen this thing. It may not come in that way. It may come in you shoot the arrow down. You follow the instruction. You prepare your heart very well. Brethren, at times the kind of preparation you made determines the kind of door that will open unto you. If you did not prepare your heart very well, you may not have the exact door that God prepared to, plan to open for you. I remember a few weeks ago, a man came to me over his daughter's case and said, Pastor, please pray for me. My daughter wanted to marry. You know, she's a fat sister. And the man was so concerned about the body and said, Ojo etin dale lo. And as I look at that lady, I said, Kai. And I told that lady before her parents, I said, the way you because if you see that lady bleached, finger is like of that eagle. You see different kinds of painting. I didn't know that is the person. I could have not allowed her to, with her parents, to enter my office. But they have entered before I saw the way the lady appeared. I said, Kai. But I cannot hide my feelings. I said, look, you parents, Baba Shirin la koni. Èèyàn bí àwọn ló ń ra ń he. Èèyàn bí àrìnà kò ní ègbín. I'm sorry. The way you dress determines the way you'll be addressed. I told the man, I said, your daughter will not be able to marry. He said, this one will marry her. We wanted to marry her. They will court for 2 months. Abandon her. Another one, abandon her. Another one, abandon her. Pastor, Egbami, I said, there is nothing I can do. Because the way she appeared will determine the kind of door that will open to her. When you are dressing half naked, that has shown us the kind of people that will come to you and say they want to marry you. You will not see a correct child of God want to like to marry Jezebel. You won't see it. If you are in the midst of the people that dress like an harlot, and they are your friends, I'm telling you, the kind of people that will come on your way for marriage will be people like that. So, I told her that if you want a child of God to marry you, then you yourself, the first thing is that you become a child of God. You can't be a child of the devil and be praying for doors of the children of God to marry you. It's not possible. That is why I'm talking about preparation of our heart. The level of your preparation depends on the level of the door that will open to you. If you are not prepared well, then don't expect the door, good door, to open to you. I will still like to read more from the book of Genesis. Book of Genesis. Before we go to pray. Follow me to the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 7. I don't have all the time, but yet I will pinpoint some things from Genesis chapter 7. And we'll look chapter 6 also, but I would like to start from chapter 7. In Genesis chapter 7, I want to read verse 1, maybe verse 1 and 2. Then the Lord said to Noah, come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. You shall take with you 7 each of every clean animal, a male and his female, 2 each of animals that are unclean, a male and a female. And the rest of the story. So, when God called Noah here, God said, go inside. Come inside. God has already opened that door. Even God was inside and said, come to this open door. As I checked the Bible, I discovered that God did not just only say, go into the ark. There was a time that God called this man in chapter 6. And God said, go and prepare an ark. Noah may not know that this ark will still stand as his own salvation, as something that will save him and his household. He may not know then, but he only obeyed the instruction of God. And I would like us to read chapter 6 from verse 13. And God said to Noah, the end of all flesh has come before me, for earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the heart. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and outside with pitch. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. You shall make it with lower, second, and third decks. And behold, I myself am bringing flood water on the earth to destroy from under heaven all flesh, in which is the breath of life. Everything that is on the earth shall die. Let me stop there. When God called Noah and he sent him an errand, God gave him the details of the work. Go and do it this way, this way, this way. You see, this morning as I was looking at this place, some question began to come to my heart and said, if Noah refused to build that ark, and God has determined, if you read further, God said, in 7 days, I'm bringing rain. I'm bringing flood. And if Noah refused and said, I'm not going to do it, what will happen to him? He will have perished in the flood. And the man obeyed, not only obeyed, he obeyed everything that God said to prepare that ark down for what God wants to use it for. And you will see some of the preparation he made. And many of us, as we are sitting down here, God is using this meeting to prepare your heart down for a great thing he wants to do in your life in the future. And I want to advise us that we should not take it for granted. Every instruction that God will be bringing from this altar, please do not handle it with levity. If you look at verse 14, make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark and cover it inside and outside with pitch. Noah has never seen an ark before, except the one God is instructing him. If Noah did not prepare that ark very well and put on the laziness character, as the Lord has addressed laziness, is it yesterday or day before yesterday, and said, me, I'm tired, though. I cannot kill myself. Oh. And he did it, shuke and leave the rest. And there is hole, and he did not fill it with pitch. Without knowing that the ark will need to float on the surface of the water. When the rain started, what will happen to Noah? He will have sunk. But he did that work. The kind of the kind of wood that God said he should use, gopher, is a kind of wood that will not easily decay. Oh, what of if the man said, I will do all what you have me to do, but I may not use that wood you commanded. Let me use the one that is available. Let me use the one that is not too expensive. And he went for, I don't know the name of that plank. They call it somidoloro. We use it to do decking. Or when we want to cast something. White wood. Thank you, sir. If he decided to use white wood, because that one is cheaper than hardwood, and said, is it not for me just to do what he has asked me to do? And he did not do it well, without knowing that that will be an open door for him. That door will be for him and his household, without knowing. And Yoruba used to say that the way you place your mat, that's how you will sleep on it. If you don't prepare very well today and you go into marriage tomorrow, what will happen to that marriage? Disaster. So that's what I saw in verse 14. He used correct wood that was instructed with. And also in verse 15. Oh, before I go to verse 15, in that verse 14, do you know that somebody can just think and said, let's use this one because